Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show. Joining me, we have tonight, as always, our 4 lovely players, starting with Nick.
I'm Nick. I play Thaddeus, the human paladin of Bazaar.
I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who is the tiefling wild magic sorcerer.
I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human rogue pirate.
I'm Zach. I play Hunter, who's a Warforged Fighter Ranger.
Okay. I had a little freak out where I thought the audio wasn't going, but it is. We're safe. Don't worry.
I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before.
No, we're good. It's just for some reason the position of the correct mic moved down in my list in OBS, but it's weird.
Okay.
Anyways, we stream on Twitch every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, then post those episodes to YouTube the following Wednesday. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items and a custom wild magic table for our resident wild magic sorcerer. Our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. So if you're interested in anything I just mentioned, you can check the channel page for links and info about all of that. The channel page on Twitch specifically. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, you can check the video description for similar information. The Twitch page also has some history and backstory, which can help you get caught up if you're just joining now. And then if you want more information, you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes and if you missed that just now, you can check either the YouTube or the Twitch page for the same information. And other than that, we hope you enjoy the show, and we're going to get right into a recap. So, the party made a narrow escape from Marblecleft Landing aboard a vessel known as the Drowning Kiss, which is captained by... I don't know why I started that sentence, because I instantly forgot her name. Constance Holt. It's captained by Constance Holt. During the voyage, Harmony and Thaddeus clashed over whether or not Harmony should make use of an imp that she accidentally summoned with her wild magic, and Hunter tried to play the mediating role in between. Then, later, just after Kamekame Island, their destination was sighted, they found a message in a bottle drifting towards the boat, which happened to be from Gloriana Hartwood, who is Thaddeus's favorite author of romance novels. Mara then used the message itself, since it was written in blood, to scry on Gloriana Hartwood, and found that she was being held captive in a goblin settlement somewhere along the river on the island. So the party followed the river upwards, avoiding an encounter with a pair of boar-herding cyclopses. They then managed to find some burial mounds, in which they managed to find, in the one that had not been looted, a set of 4 jade figures, and also some other treasure. They then, as they headed up river and found a lake on the island, found a shrine to one of the 4 guardians of the Elderhaven Reaches, the White Tiger Byakko. And inside was a trial, which required them to overcome fear and rise victorious over their enemies. And when the fight was over, they placed the swords of their enemies in the hands of a series of statues, and a diamond loop rose out of the pedestal at the very back of the shrine, which I've 3D printed a representation of, though obviously it's not in diamond.
Black diamond.
And so we ended the session with you guys picking up that diamond loop. So who specifically was picking it up?
I don't remember who.
I think I did.
Was
You
it
did?
you? Hold
Okay.
on here. You hold on to this.
Okay.
So yeah, you picked that up off
Is
the
it shiny,
pedestal.
though?
Yeah, it's like
So I think Harmony would want it more.
insanely
Yeah.
shiny.
Yeah. But I think I was busy trying to hide the fact that I was prying onyxes off of the tapestry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Do I
It's like-
notice that?
Standing over there whistling.
She was.
I rolled a
she
sleight
was
of
prying
hand,
them off.
I think, at the end of last session, didn't I?
You rolled a strength check to try and get them off, and you did that while Thaddeus and Hunter were down
Yeah.
below.
Right.
So they can't notice you, but Mara, you would have seen Harmony pulling some of
I
these
don't care if Mara sees
black
me.
gems off of the.
I probably would have went to help, but
Yeah.
if I was hearing better.
How many did I get? I got...
Like
3,
3.
I think.
You want one?
Sure. Thanks.
2 now.
And Hunter, as you examine this diamond ring, this oval of pure diamond that you've pulled off, you can see that it actually has ancient keen runes carved into it.
Okay.
And as you read those, you realize that it is very obviously a riddle of some kind, which says, pulling up my notes here, patron of lost souls, I sit in a place of prominence upon a rose. Night or day, find me, and you'll find your way.
Okay. So I would read that out loud to the group.
Can you
Do
read
you
it one
need
more
to
time,
repeat that?
please?
Yep.
Like a
Yeah, I can do
compass
that again.
rose.
Patron of lost souls, I sit in a place of prominence upon a rose. Night or day, find me, and you'll find your way. And it says this in this very, like, cuneiform, like, blocky, ancient keen text.
Does it have like dash and like author name or something?
Nope.
Okay.
And that text just kind of goes all the way around the entire diamond loop.
Find me and you find your way.
Would I have any insight to know who may have written this passage or where it came from?
No, I mean, as far as you know, it doesn't belong to any religious teachings or anything like that. It's just,
Okay.
it seems to be a riddle of some kind. It's asking a question.
I would ask Hunter if he knew who the patron of lost souls is.
Do I have any insight?
You could roll a religion check if you want.
Yeah, I'll try. Let's try with the purple dice. See if it just trolls Ethan. Probably don't know. I got a 9.
Yeah, you you know that the person, the deity who is affiliated with like shepherding souls would be the Raven Queen, but that's about all you know.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who this person is.
Hunter
Okay,
Rose.
well that's weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Shall
they
we
call isn't the compass called a rose?
Oh. You know, I think you're right. I mean, you're the salesman.
I've heard it called that.
A lost rose. So a lost compass?
I sit with prominent. I sit
So
with
Upon?
upon. I sit with
I'll read it
prominence.
again.
Down.
Patron of lost souls, I sit in a place of prominence upon a rose.
Upon a rose.
Night or day, find me, and you'll find your way.
I sit upon a place of prominence upon a rose. So a place of prominence on the island,
well, yeah, I would think so.
we would assume.
What's the most prominent feature of the compass?
North.
North, I guess.
What place of prominence? Is it a place of prominence? Okay, I'm just splitting the sentence up differently than you guys are. I think. A place of prominence, comma, upon a rose, not the rose's place of prominence.
There would be no comma in between.
Yeah, I got it. My English is fading today, you
The
guys.
the place of prominence is upon the rose,
Right.
and that is where this patron of lost souls sits.
So in the north. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's a good clue.
Maybe if we go to the other shrines, like the one that we passed on the beach, we'll get more clues.
Well, isn't that south?
Well, wasn't there
Yeah.
another one on our way?
That was the one I'm talking about.
So you guys have a map.
Or the one that we
Yeah.
already
We
passed
do.
by.
It's there's handbook.
Pick it up so that the viewers can see as well. So they are currently
That's not it.
at on the map, the ruins that is just above the lake to the left of the mountains.
I assume the turtle's back is north,
Yes.
but that's just because of the way
Yeah.
that it's oriented.
Well,
The
there
turtle's
is a
back
compass
is
rose on that.
Oh, there is.
See, he just said it. Compass rose.
But it's not.
That was me, the player.
It's
me,
not.
the
I know.
It's not listed, or it's not marked.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
cardinal directions marked on this compass rose.
But I don't want to double back and go all that way, especially because we know that Gloriana is somewhere over there.
Right, and that would be in the south anyway.
Or to the north.
Well, I mean, the shrine on the beach is to the south, right?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
up here.
But I think that we should go further along this
Yeah,
river
yeah,
and then
yeah.
double back down here if possible.
Because, I mean,
Because we also didn't we also want to check out the mountain?
yes.
Yeah,
Because that's what I was thinking. A place of prominence on the island would be the mountain.
To remind you what Hunter saw about the mountain, it looked like
No steps.
there were steps leading up to the face of the mountain.
Right,
but
and
then
like
they
if I
sort of
were
stopped at nothing.
if I were going to take a look, if I were going to put a prominent shrine on an island, I'd put it on the mountain.
Yeah. I think we should go to the end of the river, then double back to the mountain.
Okay.
That's fine.
To remind you guys about what time it was.
Right,
it
but
started
tonight, let's set up the
tonight.
tower.
Right. Which I think we were going to do.
Weren't you doing it as the rest of
I
us
was looking
were?
for a place to do it, but I
okay.
didn't start because you guys started fighting things.
Sort of like between the shrine and the lakefront, there's an area where it's pretty much clear of trees and the ground seems like it's solid and not like sandy.
Is this a good place for you, Hunter? Or should we get
Probably.
farther away from the shrine?
I don't know if I have any inclination either way.
Well, you're the one that was iffy about sleeping in the shrine itself, which I wholeheartedly agree with you now that we've
Okay.
seen what's inside the shrine.
Well, you're welcome then. Yeah, anywhere around here is
But
probably
based
fine.
on your initial arguments.
Yes. I think anywhere around here is probably fine.
Alright, I'll go ahead and place the tower and
Okay.
say the magic word.
So what are you guys doing about, I mean, you spend the time, you set the tower down and that's pretty much instantaneous, but then you set about preparing dinner and things like that.
We should probably have a watch.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What's your watch structure?
I can
2
take
people at the same
first.
time.
Or should we stagger it so that we can overlap a little bit? But
I don't know if it really matters. Normally we just have 2 and 2, right?
I don't know. Will we be able to get enough rest that way?
I think usually you do
3.
one at a time, but
Yeah, we usually do
watches.
one at a time.
I think we did 2 and 2 before because it was.
Oh, because we had Gavin. That's
We had
right. We
Gavin.
had someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
someone had to watch Gavin.
That was like the most recent time we did watches, and so that's why I remember it. Okay.
Yeah, but I can take first watch.
I'll take second.
I would like to take one.
Okay,
So-
I'll go last.
I'll take yours instead because I have some stuff I want to do.
Oh, okay.
What?
Fair.
So then it's Hunter, then
It's me.
Oh,
Yes.
Harmony, then Hunter,
then
then
Mark.
Mark. Okay,
Okay.
so Thaddeus is sleeping through the night.
He's like
Listen,
used
I
to
offered.
the cushy life.
I offered, and then someone took it away.
As you guys are setting up and sort of determining your watches and sort of finishing dinner, and the sun has pretty much gone down, and the jungle is starting to like come alive more than it was before, with the sounds of the evening. There's a rumbling sound throughout the entire island, and it's sort of, you can tell it's emanating from the mountain. And as your vision turns towards the mountain, you can see that erupting from the top of the mountain is not lava. I see your face,
Okay.
Nick.
Could you blame me?
I mean, we all went there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a spew of it looks like a cloud of water is just pushed up out of the mountain, and then
Jellyfish everywhere.
yeah, jellyfish as far as I can see. No. Water just sort of goes out in this great cloud above the mountain, and then even as far away from the mountain as you are, within like a minute, hot water begins to pelt the tops of your head. It's not hot enough to do any damage, but it's like very hot water.
It's like we
just,
want to be inside the tower.
yeah, lands on your head for maybe about a minute, and then it stops. But pretty much the entire jungle seems to have been drenched by the mountain.
As soon as it stops, I'll prestidigitation myself to dry myself off.
I think I was in the tower anyway.
Yeah, so if you're in the tower, you wouldn't get wet, but everyone else gets wet.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's hot enough to do any damage, but
Well, I figure if we were
it was
out
warm.
having dinner by a campfire or something, we would probably all get wet.
So
Unless you had us deliver your food into the goddamn tower.
I was gonna ask, is Hunter getting food for us, or are we eating Thaddeus's awful create food and water food? Because I have a spell.
Well, you can do that, and I can make it taste like anything.
That's true.
So does Hunter want
I
to go
love
out
magic.
into the jungle and hunt for something?
I can. Is that what we would like to do?
I mean, either way, I'm not really picky.
Yeah, we can do that. I can.
It's
go
not like you're
find
out of
something.
spells.
So I'm going to need you to make a survival check then.
Since I'm a ranger, and if I'm foraging for food, I think
Get
I
some
get
benefits.
bonuses, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I get When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
Okay. You still have to make a survival check,
Okay.
but it's not a very high DC.
Oh, well, I failed.
What?
Well, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
Plus anything?
No, I got a 3. Plus,
Okay.
Oh shit.
Plus 5.
It looks like we're gonna
Let
need
me
your
read up
girl.
the language of the create food and water spell. You create 45 pounds of food and 30 ounces of water on the ground or in containers within range. The food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten after 24 hours. The water is clean, it doesn't go bad.
Like I said, I can make it taste like anything.
Yeah, so Hunter goes out into the jungle, and let me just see. Anything happens here. The reason, Hunter, that you don't find anything is because you don't go too far in the jungle before you come upon there's lots of sounds of animals and things around, so you're expecting to find animals pretty easily. But what you find instead is a small glade, an open area in the jungle, which, if you could smell, you would have surely smelled it before you got closer. As you come into this open area, it's just a scene of absolute carnage. There are mutilated bodies of goblins, which you've seen before. But interestingly enough, not all of these goblins have this quite standard appearance you see in regular goblins. Some of them seem to be sprouting horns from their heads.
Okay.
And then there's also torn apart bodies of these humanoid dog-like creatures with spotted matted fur and rounded ears. And then as you sort of investigate the area, you see that there are also signs, but there's no bodies to go along with them or anything like that, but there's signs of some sort of creatures with large claws or fangs or things like that, because there's deep rents in the ground and in the trees. It's just absolute carnage. There might be 15 bodies of goblins, maybe 20 bodies of these dog creatures, just strewn across this open area, and there's just blood soaking into the ground.
Wow. All right. Well, that would definitely do away with the wildlife. Okay. How can I tell how long ago this battle was?
Roll another survival check.
Not with this dice, I won't.
Did you get trolled?
No, it was a red dice actually.
Yeah, red dice are usually pretty good.
Well, I can try them again. Let's just do this. Ah, that's much better. I got 21.
Just based off the decay that you're seeing, and you can see bites from animals into these bodies. They've been picked clean by birds of foraging birds and things like that. So it's been, at least a few days since this happened.
Oh, okay. All right. Can I take note of any tribal signs or any symbols of any kind or?
Yeah. On none of these creatures are wearing much clothes.
Sure.
They're all
Or
wearing
war paint that it shows the same. I don't
Yeah.
know what. Yeah. Okay.
Some of them have war paint that it looks like it might be a language, but it's not a language that you can read.
Okay.
So there's some on maybe the goblins. The dog-like creatures, they've got fur, so it'd be harder to paint.
Yeah. So there's no okay. What's what I'm looking for? No distinguishing features that I could if they had a banner and be oh, that's the same.
The only unifying figure for these bodies is that the goblins, some of them seem to be sprouting these horns.
Okay.
And some of them, the horns are budding, some of them are bigger, some of them are broken in places. It's really varied between the goblins.
Can I look for any I guess commanding style, someone who does more ornate things or anything that might have something on their person that would signify them as a position of power,
So
a chief or something?
yeah, with your role, you would have not really seen anything.
I'll get out of there after I take note of the scene.
Yeah, and so that's pretty much
I'll
what you
return.
find before you find any food at all.
Okay.
And that's why you come back empty-handed.
So I come back with knowledge. Yeah, no food out tonight. There apparently was a giant battle that was a few days ago of goblins and dog people.
How far from here?
How far from here?
I mean, you would have gone like maybe half a mile out before you found that.
Okay, so half a mile.
Oh, I'm asleep. Never mind.
The book
We have meat
that
yet.
we got
Mhm.
that led us here mentioned a few monsters. Do I know what any of those are?
You could roll a nature check.
Sure.
I think it mentioned
That's right.
one
That's
monster
right.
specifically.
I remember exactly what it is, but I'm, playing dumb.
Well,
Nope.
Nope.
That's like a 4.
Yeah, nothing that you or your tribe would have encountered on mainland Freyden.
Okay.
There was the mention of this creature called a gnoll, and you're not necessarily sure what that is.
Okay.
It doesn't have a good sound to it, though.
Well, I guess we should steer clear of that area then.
I mean, several days, so I don't know. But yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Could be full of scavengers. Like me.
There was nothing shiny.
Yeah, then we should really steer clear.
so it's up to me to prepare our dinner tonight.
Knock yourself
great.
out.
Alright.
Why do you sound so reluctant?
I don't like it either. It's not.
I don't
Keeps me
think you've
alive.
ever cast this for us before.
I feel like I probably have.
You might have.
I think you did the very first time we met you, if you had it at that
I don't
point.
think you
No, I
had.
didn't.
No? Okay. I
Well,
thought you did something.
And if
for
you
us.
have cast it before, then you know that I probably at least flavored my own.
Mhm.
So I'm like not worried about it at all. Just like whatever.
Yeah, I know you're gonna take care of yourself.
I think I'll have a banana sundae for dinner.
The texture's probably about the same.
Yeah.
We're on an island. What about coconut cream pie?
Ooh, that's a good point too. Pina colada.
So Thaddeus conjures into bowls or what have you.
Yeah.
This like
Did you say
taste.
45 pounds or
45
45 pounds? That's so much food.
Do you have to conjure that whole amount?
It doesn't say up to. It says that much.
So this giant pile of paste.
Oh
The
my
Thaddeus
God.
is like dig in.
I just assumed it was like
Yeah,
tack or something.
it's like gruel, basically.
It's gruel?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
She meant like a
You could fill
pot.
like a whole floor of the tower.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
45
Now you know why I was really hoping Hunter would bring us back something good.
I'm trying not to
Sorry.
imagine the sound it makes as it appears in the pot.
It's okay, I'm gonna make mine taste like pina colada. Or whatever the fantasy equivalent is.
You can have your onyx back if you
That
flavor
is,
mine
sits
too.
down and starts eating gruel.
Keep the onyx, but I'll flavor
It's
yours.
holy gruel.
What do you want yours to taste like? Or are you fine with it like that?
Go ahead, do your
I'm gonna secretly cast it though. And I'm gonna
What
make
do you
it
make it
taste
taste
like
Make it taste worse.
I'm really tempted.
30 gallons
The
of
flavor aspect of this spell, prestidigitation, is the most underused thing. I'm just remembering when I made like a wine sandwich for your other character.
So funny.
I'm gonna make it taste like well-aged whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Because Thaddeus is angry about alcohol all the time.
Well, he doesn't like day drinking, right?
Yeah, I have drinks.
I know.
Not in the morning.
I know. So it's like not the most pleasant like food taste, but
Yeah.
it's not poop flavored.
That's true.
So I wouldn't do that to you unless you really pissed me
At
off.
that point, I'd ask, does Harmony have the knowledge to flavor something else too? So,
You never know.
all right. So, Harmony's up first for the watch after this.
Yes, and I'd like to work on my gem.
Where do you want to? Because the tower has 3 layers. It's got a lower layer,
I think I'll be in the top layer so I can have the best
like
vantage
up
point.
on the battlements themselves, so you
Yeah.
can actually see.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be the best place anyway, in case whatever's roaming around here comes around. You
Yeah.
don't want to be caught
Because
outside.
we have like doors that we can like
Yeah, we probably
barricade
Yeah.
on the inside, right? So yeah, I'll be up top.
And what are you working on?
My what is it? My gemstone
Oh, that's right.
thing. My message gemstone sending. Stone.
So go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
With what?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Well, you're doing it straight
Because I'm
Mhm.
using an expensive gem.
Yep, there's another reason.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is my third.
It's got So many cagey expressions tonight.
Oh, I
It's
know.
making me really nervous.
That's when the team's doing the job.
Oh, shit. Well, alright, but this is Arcana
Arcana
with
with
charisma,
for your
so 12.
12. I mean, it's did I tell you last time how close you were? I think?
Yeah,
I
it was
think
2
you were
out of
pretty
3,
close,
which is
right?
why I'm upset you're giving me disadvantage because it could be done.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like the arcane power that you've poured into it is still staying, but there's something about tonight and where you are, which is just like throwing off your focus, and it's making you have trouble channel the remaining energy you need to put into this gem. This dog.
Do you have something in your pocket? Just a chapstick.
So Harmony,
under your sweater.
as you're like starting to get frustrated and give up on this project for the night, and starting to think maybe it's about time to wake up someone else for their watch, it gets to be maybe close to like, I don't know, closer to midnight or something like that. And the moon is up in the sky, and there's like a loud fluttering sound from the jungle as rising up from the jungle is what seems like hundreds of bats.
Oh dear.
And they just sort of swarm up in the sky, and so they'll block out stars, and then they'll fly to the next area, and they'll block out stars over there, and they fly in front of the moon and block that out for a moment. And then they come swooping down by your head, and there's as they do, they let out this
Am I
horrible
indoors or
shriek.
outdoors?
I think you're up on top of it.
You set up on the battlements.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was covered or not.
It's not.
Okay. Then I'll cast invisibility on myself when I
Okay.
see them,
Because
because I don't want them to see me.
Check for wild.
I don't care. They're creepy. If they don't see me, they
You
won't
guys are
come
so
and attack
scared
me.
of
I'm just
everything.
saying, they check our location. They're bats.
Shut up. No wild magic.
No wild magic? Okay. So you're invisible, but they do come swooping down by the tower. And as they do, they let out this horrible shrieking noise, just and it just grates against your ears. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
What are you doing to me, man? Ugh. Well,
Well.
one of them was a natural 20, so thanks for that.
You're welcome.
15.
15. Okay, that's enough. It grates against your ears and it hurts. And as you they pass by you and the shriek stops, you feel like you've instinctively raised your hands up to your ears to like plug them. And as you pull your hand back, you notice there's a little bit of blood on it. So there was something intrinsically not very evil about that shriek. The other thing, as they swoop by you, can you make a perception check at disadvantage?
I didn't go first.
I would like to know why I have disadvantage.
Yeah, that's really a question, isn't it?
Wow. At 18 enough war.
6.
6? Okay. Basically, until the moment that these things are right up on top of you, they look like normal bats. But then one of them goes right by your invisible face and actually like smacks into you a little bit and falls to the ground for a moment. And you see, as it hits the ground, looking up at you, is not a bat, but a creature with bat-like wings. Basically, bat-like wings attached to a humanoid head. And this head just has its skin is gray and ghastly and looks almost rotten. And it has like fanged teeth and like spikes coming out of it. But then as soon as it looks a little dazed, and then as soon as it
Can I
you want to like
pin it there with my staff?
yeah, sure. Roll a strength check, athletics check, or athletics
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
at disadvantage. Yep.
This is just athletics.
So it's got a 14. So you try to pin it, and it flutters back up into the air and takes a second to get itself stabilized, and then rejoins the cloud of bats as it swoops over towards the mountain and out of sight.
Great.
I'm gonna stay invisible.
All right. I mean, after that, the night goes back to its quiet lull of peaceful night jungle sounds.
Who said they were coming next? Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When it's time for his watch, I'll go and I'll kick him.
Yeah, it's about time for his walk.
It hurts me more than it hurts him, so I don't feel bad about doing it.
We've gone through this exercise before.
Yeah.
So, bang!
And then I just lay down without saying anything.
You want to tell him about the bats?
No.
Or whatever they were.
They're gone.
Hunter, when you get to the top of the battlements, you can see that there's this cloud of bats like swooping across the jungle, but
Well,
they're
yeah,
nowhere near you.
I want to, like, I know that Harmony's like upset about something. You're not invisible though, are you?
I mean, it only lasts an hour, so unless that was within the last hour of my watch, which
It was.
I guess it was, then yeah, I probably was still invisible.
So
I'll just come down and kick you. If that's the case, I'll kick you and say, like, it's your turn, and then I'll go curl up in the corner.
I'm like, did something happen?
I don't want to talk about it.
So make a sleep check at disadvantage.
I'm like, just Harmony things, and then Hunter
Just
will go up.
anything.
Hunter will go up, and so I wanted to work on. Now that I have the batteries figured out and a sword, I wanted to see if I could electrocute my sword.
Okay. So to draw up designs for that, you're going to need a Tinker's Tool check with intelligence.
An advantage?
Not a disadvantage either.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. So that's a 24?
24?
Yeah.
Yeah. The batteries you picked up and sort of replicated aren't going to be, like, you know that they generate electricity, and you know that you can make it work theoretically.
Okay.
But you also know that this battery isn't strong enough. So the first thing you have to do is sort of redesign a bigger battery. And so you've got the designs for that set.
Okay.
And then you kind of need to build that. And you can probably reassemble pieces of the batteries you have to make that. So it's just going to be a matter of figuring out exactly how that works.
Okay.
You don't have any source of light, do you? Because it's dark. Like, there's the light of the moon passing over, but it's pretty dark.
No, I don't think I have any, other than, like, torches and lit items. I don't really have anything.
Do you want to light a torch at the top of the battlements?
I have a lantern.
No, probably not.
Okay.
I'd probably just rely on my other senses.
Alright, in which case I need you to make a perception check at disadvantage.
Not because the DM hates you, but because you can't see.
It's not because I hate you, to be fair.
Sure, it's not.
That's a 13. Or do you want me to use, like, well, I can't use passive, can I?
Not in this case, because there's actually, like, an impediment of the darkness.
Sure, okay.
The dark.
So, with a 13, you may have noticed this earlier on, if you had more light or something like that. But when it comes to the audio cues of something moving towards you through the jungle, that's where you pick up on it. And it's not long before you realize that there is something coming towards you and is pretty near the edge of the jungle where the tower is situated.
Okay.
And it is something large that is making heavy footfalls.
Okay. Shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna... Who has dark vision? Harmony has dark vision. So I'm
Am I the
gonna...
only one?
I think so. So I'm gonna, like, reluctantly wake Harmony back up even though she just did her watch. So I'm gonna like, very softly kick her.
Crazy bad things come back?
No, I need you to come up here though.
Okay.
As you wake up Harmony and begin to climb up the ladder again, you hear a war horn sound throughout the night, and I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh. Groggy Harmony is groggy.
Harmony's check is at disadvantage for initiative.
Why? Why are you picking on me?
I'm not.
It's not that I need the disadvantage. I roll terribly anyway.
It was on 18 for New York minute, and then I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 3 and a 6. See, I don't need disadvantage. I'm rolling poorly anyway. A 3 and a 6, Ethan. I feel like the numbers I draw on this part are getting smaller and smaller every time we go into combat.
I'll soon you'll hit a limit, a lower limit.
Did you lose yours?
I don't know where it is. I don't know if I ever got it back from last time.
Which way would you guys like to orient the door?
Whoa! Did you build that?
I did.
I think we should orient it toward the. Is that a lake?
Yeah, this is the lake.
Orient the door.
This
towards
is the shrine. These are trees.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
It would have been.
toward the jungle then.
You can put it over here too if you want.
I would have said toward. Well, if it's over there, I would have put it toward the shrine.
Okay, I'll let Zach take control of that while I make sure that the map is actually.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Is that that's our tower?
That's your tower.
Oh
That's
my
the first
God.
floor of the tower.
I like how the door swings.
It took longer to
Yeah.
print than expected.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
It is cool.
So I will let you place that and these while I
Look at it.
set up other things.
Cute. Build your own dwarven forge.
Neat.
Dude, even the door swings on the hinge. This is amazing. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna put it like this then if we're in that area.
What's like this?
Exactly the orientation you're
Like
holding
this?
it right now, yeah. With the door facing the shrine.
Okay, like that.
Is that okay for you guys?
Well, Harmony was one placing it, so it's pretty much.
Yeah. I
I'll
know.
make sure that's on the map.
We're all inside.
Oh man,
That's
this
amazing.
map is just so small.
We could move it further out if you want. You want to do that?
No, it needs to be higher up. That's the problem.
You want me to play with it?
I don't know, let him do it. He's got his notes over there, you can't see.
Oh yeah, I don't want to. It's sort of cocked. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Sit down, Zach.
All right,
Sit
this will do.
down,
This will do.
Zach.
Alright, I'm sitting down.
So you guys are in there,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear this sound coming from the other direction. And as you rush up towards the battlements,
Yeah, I'm assuming this wakes up everybody, right?
yeah, it does. Well, especially the loud war horn. You see a huge figure emerging from the jungle over here.
Holy shit.
And on it's like this minotaur-like creature with like cloven hooves and a massive muscular body, and then resting on its back, on its huge broad shoulders, is this like palanquin-like thing, and you can see several goblins riding in that.
Oh god.
And as it blows this thing blows the horn, the goblins like lower ropes from the palanquin and begin to drop to the ground. And then you also see two large, like bigger than a human, flying creatures. It's hard to make out details about them because they're like black against the night sky, flying towards you from the same direction as well. So I'll place them all on the map.
Oh boy.
What's flying? I'm sorry.
Winged, larger than humans.
Oh, okay.
Big
Well, I
flying,
don't know yet.
flying creatures. What the fuck?
So it looks like there's about 4 goblins, and then these 2 flying creatures, and then this big bulky guy.
Which are barely showing on the map.
Yeah, I know. I've just moved them more into focus. It's just a big map and not enough room. Okay, here we go. Battle music.
We just need a lower table is what we need.
That actually would be a really good idea.
You could always do it at an angle too instead of from above. You might get
That's what I was saying. Pulling
Oh.
it back this way or
Okay.
something.
more.
A little bit.
I think this will do for now.
It works for now, but
Ooh, Thaddeus, a 6.
Did you get mine?
you rolled bad too.
Mhm.
Well, you were sleeping, so that makes sense. Hey, get off the table.
Are we fighting or running?
Where would we run to?
Away from them.
As you hear this and you wake up, you can see that the goblins that are lowering themselves by ropes from the palanquin on the back of this like broad bull-like creature begin to fan out.
I'm gonna say to Hunter as we get up to the battlements and see this monstrosity. Told you we should have stayed in the shrine. We wouldn't have stood out as much.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to actually rest at this point, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
That is their turn. Then it is Flyby Hunter.
Oh, because you burned the
Well, I guess we're fighting.
So within your tower, there are arrow slits on each of the walls that you can use as cover when you're shooting.
Is it like full cover or is it like
It's
3/4?
3/4 cover for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use that.
Or you could go up to the top for the battlements if you wanted.
I don't think there's a need for it right now.
Okay. In which case, then yeah, take your pick at your targets.
Okay. Well, I'll go for the flying targets first.
Okay. It is dark and you don't have a good view of them, so without your scope it'd be disadvantaged. With your scope, it'll be just a normal roll.
Okay, and then. Okay. Is there a way that someone can like put a light over there?
Can
So
light
I can see
fire.
better?
It's just you and me up here, right?
No, everybody's here. I think.
Yeah,
Or did you guys all climb up to
I
the top?
can- I can put a moonlight. I don't know if that actually.
So
makes light.
can I take a torch, light it, and then like shoot the torch out there?
Yeah, if you want to make a difficult like attack roll and forego one of your attacks, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Where are you aiming for it?
The center, next to the feet of the Minotaur, so they're all lit up, and then I can shoot them without disadvantage.
Talk about thinking outside the box.
Okay, so. Can I roll?
Mhm.
Okay. You said that's a disadvantage,
No.
but that's a just or that's just a regular.
Well, actually, yeah, it would be. That would be the difficulty.
Even if it's targeted to the ground.
Yep.
Okay, so do I just use my regular attack bonus? I got 20.
Mhm.
Okay. So I want to hit for like somewhere near the center of where they are.
Like right here or so.
Yeah, or yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay.
To light up the area so I can see everything.
So what did you roll?
I got a 20.
Oh, 20. Okay, yeah. So your torch embeds into the ground right there,
Okay.
And lights up sort of like a area around the torch. So you can see all of the goblins perfectly, and they're wearing like this very crude hide armor, and carrying shields. And then you can get a better view of this creature now, which is pretty much exactly what it looks like here. Show the camera as well. It has these curly bull-like horns with gold bands on it, and gold bands around its muscular arms. And it has these blazing red, bloodshot eyes that it just stares at you with. And then the dim light sort of extends to these flying creatures, which you can see now are these large, they look like mega enlarged flies with really long, narrow noses.
Oh, weird.
And riding on their backs are two more goblins in this hide armor.
Is the dim light enough to get rid of that disadvantage?
With your scope, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. So I'm gonna shoot I'll shoot my right, that fly.
Okay.
Okay.
And they're maybe like 30 feet up in the air.
So there are only two of those winged.
Okay.
I got a 23.
So that'll hit.
Okay. This would be the other one. Alright. That's a 29. Okay. So my first attack is going to be a trip attack, also using my bowstring.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. So here's the bowstring. I got Enervation. So they take an extra 48 necrotic
Is
with
it a
a
con save?
of DC 15.
Fails.
So I get minus 48. I'm also going to do a trip attack, so you have to make a DC 18 strength save.
You made that one.
Okay.
With a 17 on the dice plus 2 strength. So.
So knock off. a
But
couple
the bowstring
charges.
like lights up with energy.
That's
You
a
said it's
D8.
extra necrotic.
Okay.
Yeah, so like black energy envelops your arrow and strikes into
Okay.
this creature.
Here's the first one. That is 15, 16, 17, 18, 22 plus 50. That's magic piercing.
Yeah.
I guess. But a good alignment creature.
It doesn't affect it at this point. But blood, like black Icarus blood, spills from this thing as that arrow goes straight through its abdomen, and the goblin like narrowly rolls around the other side to avoid getting hit by it.
Okay, but he's still standing.
Jeez.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll fire my second shot at the same one, and I will do another trip attack. He's flying in the air, and that would suck for the goblins.
Yes, it would.
This time it fails its
Okay.
strength saving throw.
So I hope they take falling damage.
They do.
I hope he does too. And then
Nice.
that. So I'm not gonna use my bowstring.
The big buttons are flying things. They look like big flies with long faces.
You can miss that.
So 32 damage on that one.
No armor situation.
32 damage to
Yes.
the fly? Okay.
32 to the fly.
Not only do you knock it out of the sky, but that time you get it right in its big
Mandibles?
fly-like eyeball, and it falls straight out of the sky and lays twitching on the ground, dead. But the goblin that was on its back hits the ground hard, and you can hear, even from where you are, a crack.
Oh.
Oh god.
It's still alive, but
Oh god.
Okay, well, that'll be my turn.
okay.
One more to go.
In the eyeball.
Mandibles.
That's where you're supposed to aim. Aim.
I need to fix this to mess this up. This was from what was it fight?
No, they say look into the sky, aim no higher. Summon all the courage you require.
There we go.
I need each of you, as this fly-like creature flies, actually it's going to just double move and get close because it can't really do anything yet. It's going to get about there. As it comes close to you, and you can now get a better look at it, it has this like dark blue chitinous skin and these 4 rapidly beating bug wings, which are like clear,
Gross.
you know, and this long mosquito-like nose. And as it gets close to you, and you can hear the bzzz, the droning buzz of its wings, I need you to make Constitution saving throws.
Right, everyone gets plus
At
4 to this.
disadvantage.
At disadvantage for Harmony, but you get +4 from Thaddeus. On your turn, I'll let you make a check to see if you can figure out why you're at disadvantage.
How generous from you to get +4.
I got a 30.
Succeeds.
22.
Succeeds.
So it's +4 from you, and +6, so 12.
12. Succeeds.
Okay.
10.
I
Does
rolled
not
a
succeed.
2 and succeeded, you guys.
Um,
you're pushing. Okay.
Yeah. Sorcerer.
Thaddeus,
Mhm.
as this buzzing, droning sound comes close to you, you feel a wave of sleepiness take you, and
Oh, no.
you can't fight it. You blink your eyes, but it's like your eyelids are just too heavy, and Thaddeus falls unconscious on the ground.
Oh
Oh
no.
wow.
Well, that happens. Fatty? Fatty!
You
Which
have to,
means
like-
you won't get bonuses
I
to
know.
saving throws either.
I know.
That's the bug's turn.
No, our fearless leader.
The big guy.
No. Why did we roll such bad initiative?
What is his speed? 40 feet.
Yeah, I must be conscious to connect this.
It's cool.
Someone just keep me awake or something.
I have a plan.
Okay.
Shit.
He like stamps his hooves in the ground, like scraping deep trenches in the ground
Oh,
of the
shit.
beach, and lowers his horns and charges at the tower.
Oh god.
I'm gonna take average damage here
Oh
because
no.
it's a lot. I need to calculate.
I think the tower has a damage threshold.
It's not high enough.
What do you mean by a threshold?
Like you have to exceed the threshold to do any damage to it. So like a guy couldn't like punch our tower to death.
Yeah.
Because every
Let me look up
every
the
punch would have to
I
exceed
don't
the
think
damage.
so.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just a tower.
So it's just like a
Maximum
flat
that
damage
you-
reduction.
Strength.
what is this item actually called?
It would be a shame if our tower was destroyed right after you went to the trouble of 3D printing.
I
it for
thought
us.
of all of this. Don't worry. What is the object called though? It's someone's.
Someone's magic tower.
Yeah, something like that.
Helge's instant fortress is what, or
Fortress.
Helia's instant fortress is what you called it. I don't remember who the actual mage is.
Instant Fortress. Here we go.
Doesn't matter.
It's
He found it.
Darren's Instant Fortress? But who the heck is Darren? Let's give it a in-world reason. Okay, so
It's Helia's instant
Yeah.
fortress in our game.
the
Helia's
roof, the
last name is
door,
Darren.
and the walls each have 100 hit points and immunity to damage from non-magical weapon attacks, excluding siege weapons,
Oh, it is.
and resistance to all other damage. this wall breaks.
Wait, but it's immune to non-magical damage, and it's resistant to other damage. Did you do more than that?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off.
And now
Can we
this
just restart the session?
thing's face is looming inside the fortress. It just kind of looks at you and goes.
Oh, okay.
You can see like steam from its nostrils.
Ah, okay. Cool. That
Mara,
is sleeping.
you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna sneak attack him.
You have a really sleepy person.
Fatty fell asleep.
You should.
I can take care of that though.
Okay.
Leave Fatty to me.
Since the bull is right there,
Do
I'm
your
gonna try
damage.
to sneak attack him with my short bow and get him in the eye, maybe, hopefully.
Okay.
Does the short bow sneak attack
Does
work?
he get
That's-
sneak attack?
With, I thought you had to be melee with swashbuckler, right?
Swashbuckler gives you melee sneak attack if you're alone, but normal sneak attack, I
If
think
they have-
someone else has to be within
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
feet of him, right?
Yeah.
Is
Or
someone
you have to have advantage on the roll somehow.
Yeah.
is
Well,
someone
the-
within 5 feet of him right
No,
now?
not right now. No.
So you can
No.
shoot him, but you wouldn't get your sneak attack damage.
Yeah, you have to
Unless
come
you
up
go up
and
and
stab
rapier him in the face. Which you could try.
And if you hit, I think you can like get away for free.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
still use your a free action to
My-
disengage, right?
No, you don't.
Uncanny
need to do that,
dodge.
I don't think.
The uncanny dodge?
No,
Mhm.
we're
Yeah.
using
No,
the
no.
disengage
Oh.
thing, right?
Yeah,
As a
of your rogue bonus.
Rogue.
action.
Okay.
it's a bonus action. But I think she has a swashbuckler skill, doesn't she?
Yeah, that like. if
Oh,
you-
That
when
lets her
she-
use a free.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
free
then she
action
can
to
disengage for free,
disengage.
that's
That's what I was thinking.
So you
Yeah.
can run up and smack him.
So you could run up and smack him with your
And then
with
get
one
away.
of your melee weapons,
Okay.
and then get out
Well,
of range.
Then I've got the 2-weapon fighting also, so.
Yeah,
Alright, so
Good.
that'll be a 18.
dagger. What are you shoot? What are you
What are you
using?
using?
I'm gonna use, dagger.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 18 to hit
18 does not quite do it.
for the first one.
As you come up and attack it with your dagger, it catches your dagger on its horn and kind of throws your arm loose.
Ow! But you have a second attack, so
The offhand one is typically better for Mara.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to roll again?
Yeah.
The other
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh!
All right, so this time you go and you try to bring it
Should've
out the
done a
dagger
short
as well,
bow.
but it just sort of
but you can
snorts at you, and
Still.
it's terrifying enough that you back up a little
you can
bit.
still bonus action disengage as
Yeah.
a rogue.
Mhm.
Well, actually, the fancy forward. If you make a melee attack against a creature, that creature can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn.
Nice. So
So
you
you
don't
can
even
just-
have to
you can just
disengage. You can just walk away.
Yeah.
Which you should probably
You
get.
need to roll all
You should
those.
probably
Get
get
out.
out of range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go hide behind that.
You're gonna go hide behind Thaddeus.
Unconscious Thaddeus.
You gotta lay down next to him.
No.
Protect me.
Oops, shoot, I just closed exactly the stat block I needed on this guy. As Mara's attacks are missing, you hear from the other side of the tower and you turn around and see, looking in one of the arrow holes, is this orange frog-like face.
Oh God.
And as you're watching, it sort of like oozes up through the window, like almost as if it had no bones, and just comes in through this narrow space. And then standing in the tower next to you is this humanoid frog-like creature, this frog standing on 2 legs that is orange with these black spots. And it's holding a bow. And it just sort of looks at you and goes, and then it takes 2 shots at this creature.
Oh.
Okay.
He's helping. Good.
All right.
I like this guy.
Okay.
I just need to find his stat block because it's the
Because
one
you
I
closed
accidentally
it.
closed.
He
So I'll put him on.
rocks.
He's so
Oh,
little.
very little. He's a small creature.
He's so
Oh.
little. He's not showing up on the camera. That's okay. He's so little. Wow, we have a lot of people watching right now.
Do it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you fight a Garistro.
Is it a Garistro? God damn it.
Aw.
Garistro. Is that the
What
big
are we
thing?
gonna name him?
What are we gonna name him?
This thing?
Yeah.
No, the big thing.
No, the little thing.
Uh,
Little froggy.
I think his name should be Rook.
I'm sure he has a name. Rook.
Oh, both of his attacks hit against this creature.
Yay!
So that's 8 plus 6, so that's 14 piercing damage. And then let me see if Garistros are immune to poison. I should have checked this in advance. They are. So they don't take any poison damage, but it does take some damage from him.
Cool.
And these 2 arrows find their purchase in the Garistro's hairy flesh, and it just sort of lets out this and spit flies all over all of you. Hot, boiling spit that just kind of sizzles.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Delicious.
And then he like looks at the rest of you and goes. Then it is Thaddeus' turn.
Yep.
But Thaddeus is unconscious.
He doesn't get to save or
No.
anything.
Let me
So
check
you
the
don't get that
effect
on
here.
sleep, I don't think.
Effect end. Okay. Got it. Nope, Thaddeus is asleep for his action, unfortunately.
We need him.
Why didn't Mara wake him up?
Could I?
Just kick him. You can just do that, right? I don't think it takes an action just to kick
Yeah,
someone awake.
it takes
right?
an action.
It does?
Yep.
Oh.
But it's Harmony's turn.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna look at the frog guy. Look at Thaddy. Look at the big ugly thing. Do I know what it is?
Roll and well, first let's figure out if you know why you're at disadvantage for things.
Are you gonna charge me an action for that?
No. So
Okay.
just make an intelligence check.
At disadvantage.
No.
$13.
13. You know that the feeling came over you after you left the shrine. So something you did in there or something that happened in there must be punishing you.
I was wondering if it had to do with that. All right. I mean, I'm a sorcerer. I work with luck, so you win some, you lose some. All right. Okay. Do I recognize this thing?
Right. So now you can make an Arcana check at disadvantage
Okay. And this is with intelligence?
with intelligence. Yep. Actually, just make it regular. So
Can I roll again?
Yeah,
'Cause
roll
I don't
again.
know which one
I-
would
I
have been
had-
the first one.
hadn't made up my mind, and then that was my bad.
Okay. 14.
14. Because yeah, I would have given you advantage on this originally. So
Because-
as you see this, there's this feeling of like guttural revulsion in you as it like is leering into you, and you can't tell why until you finally realize, oh, this is a demon, and the devils of the 9 hells are typically very
yeah.
averse to demons. They're very against them.
All right. Cool.
They have deep-seated conflict. So you know that this must be a very strong demon if it broke through the wall, but you don't know specifically what it is. No.
All right. I'm going to banish it
Okay.
as a bonus action.
Good.
I'm spending sorcery points to use a bonus action to banish it.
So it's a what kind of save? Wisdom?
Just a second. I think so. It's either wisdom or charisma. No, it's charisma.
One of the saving throw proficiencies it does not have.
Yes.
And even with advantage, it is banished.
Yes.
Awesome.
So
There we
before
go.
I cast the spell, I'll be like,
Yeah.
Nope, not today.
And there's this like, as the spell connects with it, there's this moment where it like looks down at its chest and like flames begin to erupt around it, and it just lets out this as it just bellows at you, but it vanishes into the flames.
Oh my
What
god.
happens to the goblins on it?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The goblins
already
all
came up.
dismounted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And I'm gonna drop down next to Thaddy and I'm gonna start shaking him really violently as an action
Okay.
to try and wake him up.
How violently?
I mean, if shaking him normally doesn't work, I'll probably slap him in the face.
Okay, shaking him normally isn't working, so you
So
have
I'll
to
just-
slap him,
I'll just wind up and push as hard as I can.
do a
across
point
his
of
face.
damage, and then Thaddeus comes to.
Yay.
Like with a hard
Big-
smack. Like you have
big
a burn
red-
It's the second
red-
fight in a row I've done damage to you.
Yeah.
All the
That
morphine.
felt good, didn't it?
It did.
Now we know.
So when he
Harvey
wakes
was
up,
like, don't worry, I've got Thaddeus.
Wait, does she have
You
to
do
make
it.
the attack at disadvantage against him?
No.
no.
It's easy enough to
Sleeping.
smack someone.
Just kidding.
He's sleeping. I have advantage on it normally, so.
Ah,
Technically, he was unconscious. It was a crit.
Yeah. Critical slap. And then when
But
he
should I
wakes
take-
up,
should I take 2 damage?
Yeah, take 2 damage.
Oh,
when he wakes up, I'm gonna say, "Oh, that felt good. Are you okay?"
What's happening?
Way to fall asleep on the job. And you're the one that got to sleep through half the night.
Thaddeus like staggers up to it. Well, it's not his turn. It's not
Yeah,
his turn yet.
it
Still-
is
still-
the
He's
goblin's
still
turn.
laying there like, what happened?
Do you feel even more refreshed now?
Good morning, sunshine. I guess he would be Moonlight. Would
Like-
be like his nickname. Good
When
morning,
you
Moonlight.
faint, you feel
Yeah.
like you slept all night.
That only happened one time, and I was very afraid when I woke up. I did not feel rested. I was like afraid for my life.
We're all on the 3rd floor of the tower, by the way.
I was not.
You're not?
No.
I thought we.
I
Did
was
you
using
run
the
down?
arrow slit things.
Okay. I was
Oh,
on
so
the
you're
3rd
like on
floor.
the second floor.
Second floor.
Because I thought you brought me up to the 3rd floor.
I did, and then I ran down to use the
Okay.
arrow slits.
Is everyone else
Because he
up on the
offered me
3rd floor?
3/4
Yeah,
cover
I
that
would have been on third floor.
I couldn't
Okay.
say no to.
Okay, in which case, this one is not going to jump off and take falling damage. It's going to jump off from the fly, which is up in that area, and take falling damage as it lands on the 3rd floor of the tower.
And
So
yes, I'm
who's up on the 3rd floor specifically?
The
Mara?
3 of us. And he's on the 2nd floor.
Okay. Luckily, this Garistro is tall enough, so that doesn't really actually change anything.
Yeah,
so
I
that
figured it
still
was
works.
just his face.
So Mara, Hunter. No, Hunter was on the first. Or three of
Second.
you. Okay.
Or whatever it was.
It's
Hunter's
going
2nd
to
floor. We're 3rd floor.
jump off the tower at Thaddeus, who is laying there on the ground
Right.
still.
Okay.
And it jumps like head first, and you can see as it's coming towards you, these horns sprouting from its head are coming straight for your body. It rolls a 21 to hit you.
What's your armor class now?
Yeah, I don't think it. I think like I raise my shield, but don't actually cast the shield spell,
Mm-hmm.
and it hits.
Okay.
My armor class right now is 13.
And
Oh,
it sleeps you.
That's as bad as mine normally.
Yep,
15?
13.
Because he's not wearing his armor when he sleeps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think about that when I planned this encounter.
I
So you take 16 piercing damage as its
actually
horns
like
just
that
land
being in
straight
danger
into you.
roles.
And then it kind of is like has its horns stuck, gored into your chest, and it like has to try and pull
Ouch.
those out.
Ugh.
The
That's
rest
painful.
of the goblins make their way into the 1st floor, so they're going to come in this way. But they have to use all of their movement to get in. So that is them. Oh, that's only the gore is only one of its attack. So then it also is going to try and slash at you with a scimitar, but it doesn't have advantage anymore. Because it's sort of at a disadvantage because it's stuck in you, and it misses. This one you managed to catch on the shield.
Yes.
Then
It's like
that's
a
the
typing like
goblins.
this.
Hunter.
Yeah.
It's you.
Okay. So that one's not. Okay, so I'm gonna try and take out the other fly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make some shots against it. Can I see it okay now? That it's close, even though it's like out of the fire, or
Yeah, you're on the 2nd floor. You can see it. That's
okay. So I'm gonna shoot it. All right, that's 22. No, 23.
23 will hit it.
And then I'm gonna make this one. I'm just gonna use the bowstring again for this one. So wherever you are.
Oh, I forgot to roll falling damage for that goblin.
Telekinesis. Move it any direction in 30 feet, and target is restrained until the start of your next turn. It's a strength save, also, and they're all DC 15. Can I like ram it into the? Does that work? Telekinesis? I can just like ram it into
me try
the
and make
side
it
of the.
My
strength save
telekinesis only works on objects, so I don't know.
It got a 15 on the save.
Okay, so it didn't
Yeah.
get stuck. Okay.
But yeah, you could ram it into things normally.
Okay. So I'm just gonna do straight damage. That is 24,
Okay.
and then another shot. That is 17.
17 to hit.
Yes.
Oh, that hits.
Okay.
Sorry, I got lost in recording numbers for a moment.
So many numbers.
Fear.
Fear. Okay. It makes a wisdom save.
Yes.
Ooh. 14.
That fails.
Okay. So
It's
it is afraid of you, which means it has disadvantage on attacks against you, and
Okay.
it can't move closer to you.
Okay. And so I'll just damage him. And then that is 29 piercing magic, and then one more shot. Okay, that hits. It's like almost 30. And then this one's going to be a trip attack.
Okay.
So yeah, an AC 18 strength save.
He fails and falls out of the sky.
Okay.
He never used these.
So that is
I will.
31 damage.
Guess what? Hunter, it goes through the eye again, and this fly just falls out of the sky and lands in a heap, twitching on the ground.
Okay. Flies are gone.
And so I'll take them out of initiative.
And then since I hear the goblins coming in, I'll stow my bow and bring out my sword and shield
Okay.
as a bonus action.
Then it is Mara's turn. Mara, the only enemy you have immediately in your range is the goblin who is currently stabbed into Thaddy's chest with its horns.
Take your belaying pins.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of lassoing him to pull him out. And then
I mean, you could literally just lift him and throw him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a small creature. He
Oh,
doesn't
it's a
have
small
to
use your
creature.
lasso.
Okay.
Oh, but I would like to think of da-da-da-da-da-da.
I know. I've been playing too much Yakuza 0.
Alright, so, yeah, I guess I'll yank him out carefully. Trying not to get too much damage.
Alright.
And then, is that my only action then? Pulling him out?
No. I mean, if you want to, like, pull him out and grapple him or, like, push him off the edge.
Can I punch him with my knuckles?
Oh, yeah.
My dragon bone
Yep.
knuckles?
You
Yeah,
could
you
punch
can.
him off.
First of all, roll a... you're trying to pull him out gently.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a dexterity check.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
+4. So 23.
Okay, yeah, you don't think that you did any extra damage to Thaddeus as you pull the horns out. But as you pull them out, you can see that they're sharpened to points, like
Whoa.
specifically for this purpose.
Wow.
And then you've got the goblin right there in prime punching distance.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's an 8.
An 8. Unfortunately, yeah, it bounces against his hide armor, and then you think like you weren't expecting him to have that much armor or something.
But you have weapons.
Well, she wanted to punch with the
Oh,
knuckles, and those are unarmed strikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because it's a strength-based stat, not a
Oh, I
dex-based
see.
stat.
The frog-like creature is on the same floor as Hunter
Too, right?
with all of the goblins now.
There's only kind
Oh,
of
then I wouldn't have been looking at him.
Does she get 2? She has 2, or is it just?
I guess one could be an offhand punch with your bonus, right?
I guess.
It just says it adds damage to one unarmed strike per round. But you could
But
punch
that's
with one
per
and then
knuckle.
dagger with,
That's-
with second.
I think that was per knuckle, right? Or is that?
It just says
Or are they
one,
pairs? I
one
don't remember.
unarmed strike per round.
Yeah, but I gave her 4. We had a bunch of them. We got
So
one
she could
per.
use one for one hand and one
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
other.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah,
Not bad, not
that's what I
bad.
thought at least.
That's amazing.
Let me look up offhand attacks real quick.
Okay.
Well, I can't find it immediately, so I'm going to say, just for this instance, until I can look it up, that sure, you can make an offhand attack as well.
Yeah, get him. Yeah.
Do it.
Sneak attack. See that sweet
Okay.
damage.
Offhand. So same thing.
Maybe
Jesus
you
Christ.
should use.
Yeah, you need to
That's-
use the other one.
11.
Okay, this time your hand gets caught in the horns a little
This
bit,
one's been
and
really
he
good
just
for me,
kind
yeah.
of like ducks down and gets out of the way. And as he does so, you can see a few details about him. The goblin has these like red bloodshot eyes, and you can see now that you're like actually holding onto it a little bit. It has fur covering parts of its body, like its shoulders, which is not typical for a goblin. But yeah, your hand gets kind of caught in the horns, and that's the end of your turn.
Dang it.
Sorry, guys. Not much
The
help.
frog-like creature is on the middle floor with Hunter. So the goblins are scurrying up the ladder, and he kind of like he goes to like the back side of the room and gets ready to like he's holding his bow out like he's waiting for the first goblin to come up to the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Then it's Thaddeus' turn.
Can I see the goblins?
Yeah, as you look down the ladder, you can see that there's a line of goblins getting ready to climb up it.
That sounds great. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam on all of them.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Like straight down the ladder shaft?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's only like one there at
Does
the
the
moment.
ladder
but-
shaft connect the first, second, and third floor all in
Mhm.
one go?
It's
Yep.
a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
Oh yeah, that's what you did. Yeah.
They've got to make Constitution saves.
There's probably only 2 goblins you can get
It's
right
called
now
a
because it's a narrow space.
Mhm.
One of them is going to pass, one of them is going to
I
fail.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moonbeam.
Okay, so pretty good. That would be 15 damage on a fail, and 7 on a pass.
Uh,
And that's all radiant damage.
By the light of the moon.
Moonbeam is such a great spell. Because you can maintain it, right?
Yeah, it's a
Keep using
concentration
it.
spell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So it just stays there.
It just
Yep.
stays there.
And
So
he
like
can
they
move it
can't
as
use
like
this
a-
ladder now.
Bonus action or
I can
action
move
to
it
move
as
it?
well.
Yeah.
Can they like use it and be like burns?
yeah, technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it is anything else on Thaddeus' turn?
I'm gonna get up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm definitely gonna get up. But I don't have any more actions yet.
Okay. Then
Oh,
it is-
I think bonus action. I had to undo my sword to cast Moonbeam, so that happened.
That's true.
So now we've got a little bit of light around us.
Then it is Harmony's
Not
turn.
that I need it. Okay, so the ones that came into the first floor are all crowding around the ladder, and Fatty just hit basically all of them.
Yeah. It's a 5-foot radius, by the way, so that's 10-foot diameter.
But to like center it on the ladder, I think you can only get like
Okay,
the 2
yeah,
who
yeah.
are lined up right at the ladder.
Okay.
Because that's like 10 feet.
So can I see how many of them are there?
Well, now
Yeah,
this is
there's
the problem. Like now to get to the ladder, you have to poke your head in the moonbeam.
Okay, but I'm okay. All right, I'm just thinking if everything was happening at once, I could have seen before.
Yeah,
he did
there's
that, but
Oh, you could have seen that.
You can
yeah.
always just
I mean, you
message
saw
me.
them run into the tower, so you saw that there were 5 of them that ran into the
Oh,
tower.
okay.
okay. Because I could cast Shatter and get them all, because it doesn't have to be line of sight. It's just a point within range.
Okay.
It doesn't specify line of sight. I could be wrong.
Usually you have to have line of sight, even if it doesn't say.
I checked the card. It just said a point of your choice within range. So,
Ooh.
but if I need line of sight, then I won't do it.
One of your choice within range.
Yeah, it does. Usually it'll say a point you can
That's
see
true.
within
Yep.
range.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you could do it.
Right?
Shatter might be,
Disadvantage.
Shatter might be one that would
No.
damage the tower as well.
Well, if I put it outside and get just those 3 that are still outside.
They've all come in.
Oh.
Yeah. There's just not room to represent them on the tower.
All right, then
This
the
is where
thing.
my model breaks
That's
down.
the
because
thing.
don't
I have
3
disadvantage.
floors.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to roll to attack anything.
There's also that one goblin that is right up there with Mara as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
That's
Okay.
yeah. But the only thing I can do to attack them would be spells that I need to actually roll a hit, and I don't want to do that. But I might have to.
You've got a good bonus. I believe.
All right. Well, I will get into the far corner,
Mhm.
away from the stairwell, and firebolt the one that is dodging all of Mara's punches.
Okay. So roll your attack at disadvantage.
I'm going to use Tides of Chaos so I don't have disadvantage.
Okay.
Because I also want that to be primed. And I rolled a fucking 1!
Oh.
So that's a 10.
Alright, so the firebolt goes off into the
That's
night,
right.
and it's
I
still
should
going
roll
to this
the
day.
Yes. But that's not for attacks, it's
Yeah,
for skills with
Oh,
proficiency.
That's right. I was thinking, dang, I could have added.
No.
Then it is the
I know. Jeez.
Yeah.
goblins.
Uh-huh.
And the one that is engaged with Mara, I think, is going to make attacks against her.
God, at least a turn.
So I think one attack is a hit at a 21, and the other one is a miss at a 10.
That's you.
So you take 7 slashing damage as it gets its scimitar across your chest.
Did it have to leave my threat range, or were we in the same place?
Well, you're kind of right next to it because she
Yeah,
was grappling
that's-
with it and
okay.
stuff. So.
Yeah.
The rest of the goblins are going to climb up the ladder.
Oh,
So when do they make their save?
Is
Is
it
it
when they
whenever
end
they
their
enter it?
turn?
let me check real quick.
It doesn't say in the.
So I'm at the top of the ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then can I like block
Yeah.
their?
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there.
All right, you've got 5 Constitution saving throws coming right up. 10, nope, that's a fail. 12 is a fail. Fail. 21
That's a
is
pass.
a pass, and one more is also a fail.
Wow.
So roll that damage for me.
What's your DC?
It's 16.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
I rolled like all 8s and 7s.
They only take 5 radiant damage.
Damn.
Better than nothing.
How much do you
Is
say?
that tower
5?
made of wood or
Yeah,
stone?
Stone.
It's stone.
Mhm.
I was wondering whether or not
Oh,
fire would
real
be a
low
bad
on my
idea,
damage roll. 2 and
Probably would do damage to it, but
but not enough
not
damage
extra.
to actually hurt
Yeah.
the wolves.
Maybe I don't know.
Um,
I don't know how
Ladder's
strong they are. I
fine.
mean, that guy didn't have a problem with it apparently.
Yeah, but
Jerk.
you need to hit the damage threshold, right?
Just watched it.
3 of them come out on the floor that you and the frog creature are
So
on.
can I like impede their advance at the?
I mean, unless you want to stand in the moonbeam, probably not.
Yeah, I can stand the moonbeam.
Okay,
It'll
so
do
make
damage to
a
you.
Constitution saving throw.
That's fine.
DC is 16.
Am I close? Am I close in proximity to Thaddeus too? Oh, I got an 18.
Your
So I
radius is what for your aura?
It's 10 foot.
10 foot. So no, because like these floors
Okay.
are at least.
So I took half of that before.
Nah,
Or do we
make
need
another.
to re-roll? Okay,
Mhm.
fine.
No, roll my bad. 10.
So
Okay.
5.
So 5. Yeah.
Okay.
But then yeah, you could like slam your shield down on there.
Yeah, like, or just like I'm like start slashing through it.
Um,
on
Is
my
it-
turn.
is
On my
it-
turn. No,
I
no,
was
no,
just
no, I'm
thinking that
asking.
too.
How is
Yeah.
he getting there? It's
That's
not
a good
even his
point.
turn.
Well, I thought.
so never mind. Rescind that. Sorry,
oh, okay.
my brain
Give
was.
yourself the HP back.
Sorry. I thought I
Um,
moved there on my turn, but never mind. I guess I didn't. In my head, I did.
Yeah, you would have.
Because
to
I'm like,
use an
I'm like, I
action to
pulled
block
my
it off.
stuff out and I was gonna go to the ladder.
Alright,
So, but that's
But
okay.
you
Sorry.
didn't say it.
I didn't say it. I forgot.
You would have had to use your action to block it off.
No, that's okay.
So like you
Sorry
could be
about
there,
that.
but they can still get up. So 3 of them will get on your floor, and then 2 more will keep going past you. You can make an attack of opportunity against them if you want.
Okay, sure. I'll do
One
that.
of them.
That is 31 to hit.
Yep.
So
What if he said no?
no.
This goblin is an illusion.
That is 9 damage.
So yeah, as he goes past, you manage to get a rapier into him, and he is bleeding from that as he climbs up the rest of the way. So now there's 3 goblins on top and 3 in the middle. Okay, here we go. So the first goblin is going to make attacks against Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
2 attacks missing.
Okay.
And the second one is going to make attacks against the frog creature.
No.
1 attack hitting, 1 missing.
No.
Third goblin is also going to be Hunter. 1 attack hitting with 24.
Okay.
So you take 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
Half down to 3.
Yep.
And the frog creature takes some damage as well. Then let's see. 2 more came up top. So 2 of them are going to go for. One of them is going to go for Thaddeus. One of them is going to go for Mara. But then there's Harmony in the corner. One of them is going to go for Thaddeus, and one of them is going to go for Harmony. So here's Thaddeus.
Isn't Harmony way in the back?
I'm in the back corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it probably can't. It can get to you then, but it can't make an attack.
If he tries to go for it, I'm gonna attack of opportunity.
That's fine. So the 2 that get up to Mara, one of them misses, one of them hits. You're gonna take. Oh, right. This one lowers its horns at you and tries to charge into you. And the horns hit you for. I'm sorry, there's just so much math on the page right now. I'm losing it for a second. Here we go. For 11 piercing damage. And then its horns are kind of like stuck in you as well.
Oh God.
And then you can make an attack of opportunity against the one that goes up to Harmony but can't quite get to her.
27 hits.
Yes.
Alright. Then I will do.
We'll say this is the same one Hunter attacked.
Yeah. This is a 15 cold and radiant. Does that matter?
No, not in this case.
And I get to move half my movement, chasing after it.
Okay. So yeah, you're right up next to it, and it is looking pretty bloody.
Yeah.
And
Is
worse
the
for
one that was going to hit me able to reach me anymore?
Yeah, so he'll swing a scimitar at you.
Wait, but
Well, no, as you're leaving his threat range.
doesn't provoke outrage.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So he has to like go further now to hit me, and that's what I was asking. Is he still able to?
Not anymore, no. That's the goblins. Very confusing turn. Hunter.
So, I'm going. There's 3 on my floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have 3
Two of
attacks.
them are with you, and one of them is attacking the frog.
So I have 3 attacks. So I'm gonna change all of my attacks to shoves, and I'm gonna shove them all back into the ladder down
Okay.
the floor.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first the one on me, I'm just gonna like just knock him in there if I can.
So they take damage on their turn.
Yeah.
So even if
At
he
the
shoves
start,
it in,
yeah.
But they'd have to climb back up again.
right.
So I got a 19 to hit.
That'll do it.
That's amazing.
Do I just roll an attack and hit him with it? And then,
With a shove, I think
you know, I
it's a
just had it
contested.
open and I just closed it. I don't know
It's
why
a
I did that.
contested athletics versus
Here it is.
athletics
I
or
got it open.
acrobatics.
If you're able to make multiple attacks, it replaces one of them no more than one size larger. Instead of making an attack roll, you make a strength athletics check. With contested, either strength athletics or acrobatics.
So I just rolled their acrobatics, and it was a 21.
Okay, so mine is actually. Crap. What did I get? I don't even know what I rolled. What did I roll?
And I heard a 19.
But that was with my attack roll.
Yeah. I don't know if you did roll.
Yeah, I don't think you rolled.
You didn't roll.
Just roll it again.
Sorry. I thought I had to roll attack. Oh, I only got an 18. Okay, so
Okay, so he manages to get his shield up and sort of resist your shove, but then you can
So,
shove him
I'll do it
again if
again.
you want.
yeah, I'll do it again. Same one.
Natural one. He goes down the ladder.
Okay, so down he goes,
That's amazing.
and then I'll go get another one and shove him too if I can. Can I
Okay.
do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Does he take damage this turn from the
Ladder
moonbeam
No,
You
or
can
or-
take
the
full
tower.
damage.
At the start of his turn.
start of his turn? Okay, so here's the next one. I got a 26.
Okay, I don't know that they can beat that. Nope.
So
He
down he
goes down the
goes.
ladder, landing on top of the other one with a thud.
And that's all I got. I got 3 attacks, so.
Okay. So now there's just the one goblin up there who is menacing the frog.
Yeah, I'm next to him.
Goristro, but he's gone. Mara.
I still have a goblin in me.
I think I
Mhm.
pushed him right away.
Okay. So I'm gonna take out my rapier and try to
concentration.
slice him.
Okay.
That is just trying very hard.
Yeah. Oh, do you
Where's
want the
good
blue one?
Yeah.
This one's doing really well.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, for me.
Mentioned where he was trying.
It's doing really well for me.
13.
13 does not quite do it. Oh man, Mara.
Wow.
This
Um,
one?
yeah,
What
it's
is
because of
going
the
on?
awkward angle with its like head in,
Poor
like its
Mara.
horns in you. It's just you can't quite get the rapier in to penetrate its hide armor.
Can you rapier and like dagger? Does that work or not? And then still an offhand.
If she's
So
got a
is-
dagger in the offhand, she can. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always trying to give me.
Do you have a dagger in your
attack
offhand?
damage?
Well, of course, or I still have my knuckles on
Yeah.
too.
So
Whichever one.
offhand attack.
Punch him.
I
Yeah,
think
get him.
you get a bigger
Go for it.
attack bonus with your dagger, though.
Okay, that one was sneaky.
You can
Let's
sneak
try that
attack
one.
with your dagger. So
Are you fucking kidding me?
11.
It happens.
yeah,
Ah.
the dagger catches on his hide armor as well. It's really
Jeez.
doing work for him.
Jeez.
Frog switches from his
trying.
bow to
I know,
a.
thanks.
Maybe I'll do a distracting shot for you and be like, you get advantage.
So roll 2 1s.
I did that.
That's happened to us. And last week we rolled 2 20s, right? Or was that the week before?
The week before, yeah.
The frog-like creature drops its bow on the ground and pulls out a crude-looking dagger, stabs it into the gut of the goblin that was menacing it, and you can see that the goblin initially has this look of pain, but then there's like a bubbling froth that comes out of its mouth as some sort of poison takes effect,
Oh,
Oh,
God.
wow.
and it just falls over dead.
Oh, dang. Okay. Hunter's like, whoa. Don't put anything in me.
You're immune to poison.
I don't think I'm immune. I
Are
think
you
we
not?
agreed I'm resistant.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Thaddeus.
I don't want to be part of that.
Alright, how many goblins are left up here?
Still 3 up top. One of them looks very badly injured.
I'm gonna go after the one that's chasing after
Okay, that's the one that looks very badly injured.
chasing after Harmony.
Perfect.
Alright. So that is one attack. It's a 14 hit.
No, it does not.
Oh shit.
Alright, second attack. By the 29 hits though.
Yes, it does. And
I'm
it's
gonna
dead.
Oh, it's dead. Okay, good.
I don't think you can't kill it, so
Good.
How's 18?
that'll do it. Yep.
Whew.
So Harmony, right as this goblin is lowering its head to charge into your gut, the
I'm like holding my
moon sword
for
protrudes from its chest, and then the goblin falls to the ground, and there's Thaddeus.
Thanks.
Anything else for Thaddeus?
Am I able to get the other two goblins up here in the moonbeam?
If you want to move the moonbeam, yeah.
Would I get Mara in there?
I think you could do it without
It's a
getting
pretty
Mara.
narrow area. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Aw, man. Something the ones I knocked down and get hit again.
Then it is Harmony's turn as the moonbeam moves over those two goblins on top.
Okay, so you moved the moonbeam to get the goblins that are on this floor.
Actually, can I cancel that?
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna move toward Harmony and use my bonus action to give her my shield effects.
Okay. That's a good idea.
So
What does that do?
you got
you
plus
see-
3 to AC.
Nice.
Basically, a shimmering moonlight encircles you for this turn, and you get a bonus to AC.
That uses AC, it's not 10.
Oh God. Okay.
You're strong though.
The ladder.
Mhm.
Is it bolted in?
Yes, it's like part of the tower.
It's part of the
made
tower.
stone.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything? Is there anything lying around on the floor up here that I can use to cover the hole?
Not really. No, I mean it was pretty barren except for Hunter's tinkering supplies,
Okay.
which I assume are just kind of strewn everywhere since
And
he was
there are
working up here.
two goblins in here.
One of them has its horns in Mara, and then the other one just climbed to the top of the ladder and looks like it's about to make an attack against someone.
Okay.
I think it's the one that Thaddeus left, actually. So
Not like when you would have hit it.
All right. I will firebolt the one
Fine,
that's on
5.
at the top of the ladder in the hopes that it would knock it back down the hole if I hit it in the chest
okay,
with a firebolt. That's what I'm gonna do.
roll it at disadvantage.
Yes, sir. Uh, 20.
Wow, there you go.
20 does hit it for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good roll
3d10
with disadvantage.
bitches.
So what are you doing? I'm sorry.
I'm firebolting the one standing at the top of the ladder in the chest in the hopes to knock it down the hole. With the force of my tiny little fireball. Well, I'm gonna use my empowered spell on
Yeah.
that because
Yeah,
I
I would.
rolled 2 1s and a 2.
Wow. That's like when I did flamethrower.
Because that's bullshit.
Way
Better. How about 19 fire
Oh wow, that's
damage?
a lot better. Yeah.
That's a lot. Mhm.
Yeah. It's like 4 fire damage, 19 fire damage.
Yeah, this one is looking very hurt now.
Did I knock it at all?
Nope.
No knockback from a fireball to the chest?
Nope.
That's bullshit. Okay, well then for my...
That's how the spell's written.
I know. For my bonus action, I'm going to stand behind Thaddeus.
Sounds good. You don't need a
Bonus
bonus action to do that. Which is a good thing because this one's going to lower its head and charge at Thaddeus.
Sure. Probably gonna hit.
Doesn't have advantage, which is nice for you. Wow, okay. Yep, it hits 11 on the die.
I'm going to use Ben Luck. Oh no, but he's got a bonus to that too, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. And since he's moving
Never mind.
towards you, he gets a little bit of extra damage with his horns. 10, 8, so he does 18 damage, piercing damage with his horns, and they are stuck in you again.
Shit.
He's just kind of wriggling his head like that. And then he's going to make a scimitar attack at disadvantage since his horns are stuck. Which 6 plus 6 still hits.
That's a 12?
Yep.
I'll use Ben Luck on that.
Okay. She needs to bend
The
it
3.
by 3
Yeah.
or 4 to
The
reduce
3.
it.
50-50 chance.
2.
Two.
So,
Okay.
So it's still
So the
just your
sword
AC.
still
Exactly.
glances against
Sorry.
your.
Oh wait, but I can use shield.
It's true, you can.
I'm gonna use shield.
In which case, the sword goes bouncing against the moonlight shield that projects from you.
Okay.
And you know it would have gone straight for the chest and done 9 piercing damage otherwise.
Oh,
Or slashing.
good insight.
How are you looking, Fatty?
Bad.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Mara, there's one
Okay, I've
against
got
you
lots
that's
of
going to make
potions.
some scimitar attacks. Wow, 2 19s. So 2 hits.
Oh man.
You're okay though.
So do you use shield? I didn't have to use no lock,
7
Yeah.
and
but I did anyway.
15 total slashing damage from the scimitar. Then let's see, you pushed 2 of them down.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. I would have done
One
it
of them
anyway
is still
for
here.
Flavor. You just saved me.
So they'll take the moonlight damage then, right? The ones
If
that are
they
on
come
their
back up, yeah.
Well, they
actually,
start their turn.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
do.
yeah.
So I need some moonbeam damage.
Oh.
Yay!
1 fail, 1 pass.
Get this bullshit out of the way. And it still ran into this
Yeah.
guy.
8 radiant damage. For
Yeah, get him.
Those 2 who just took the radiant damage are going to flee out the tower. The one that is still up here with you is going to attack the frog-like
No.
creature.
Oh, wait a second.
And his horns go.
Wait, I thought he was dead. Didn't the poison kill that one?
Oh, you're right, it
Yeah,
did.
he's dead.
Yep, he's dead.
Yeah, he froth, man.
He's frog. Yep.
Hey, Ethan, give those guys their moonbeam damage back, because I don't have the concentration on the spell anymore.
Oh. They're still gonna run though,
Okay, yeah.
because
You get
they've
the
fallen
plus-
down this ladder far too many
Yeah.
times.
12. I
Okay.
would have had to make it 14, and I got a 12.
So those 2 goblins go running.
But
The only goblins
it's
left are the 2
For
at the
2
top of the
hits,
tower.
though.
Oh wait, it was 18?
Is it my
How
turn?
much damage was it? 18 damage? Sorry, I
It was 2 hits, though. It wasn't all at once. So you got to make
It was 1
It was
hit.
one
It was the
horn
frog.
hit.
attack twice.
And then he scimitarred and missed.
But he missed the second one. That's
So it
right.
was
One.
18 damage?
Something like that.
I think I did get it there. The moonbeam is still there.
Okay.
Cool.
In any case, this just means they're fried as they run away. They go fleeing out of the tower and back into the jungle that way. Which
So you
leaves
brought
it
this
as
up
Hunter's
all
turn.
to
There's no
us?
more
No!
So
goblins on
I
the
don't know.
they
No!
since they had to,
Why would you say that?
did they only get half their movement when they stood up and stuff? So how far away are they? Can I still see them?
They
shoot
would
them.
have dashed as well,
What?
so they're getting into the tree line, but you could shoot at them.
Okay, so I'm gonna
You
shoot at
took
them.
one too.
Okay.
How would you know that though? I knew that because I made
So
a check.
I'll put
but I didn't
my-
think you knew that.
Sword and shield away. And actually no, if I use my bonus I can't set my bow. Yeah, I'll just make normal shots then. See what happens. So I got a 21 to hit first one.
Okay. That will hit it.
Okay.
The thing having
he
to roll
takes-
normally. No advantage.
24
Like a
damage.
plebeian. I'm over here rolling disadvantage on all my
That is
attacks.
dying.
Is he
really.
alive?
He's still alive. He's looking pretty hurt as the
Guess who
large
jumped
bowl
into the
from the
fray
great
without
bowl.
anybody
Okay.
before in the last
Does
round?
a,
Protrudes
six,
from his back.
does a 16 hit him?
16 does not.
Okay.
So after the first arrow pierces into his shoulder, he turns around and gets the shield up in time to catch the second arrow.
Okay. Well, if I know I'm not going to kill both of them, then I'll stop at the second shot.
Okay.
And I will. Can you like get? Okay. Well, I'll just wait at the ladder to climb up and help if I need to, but I'll move up back over the ladder.
As those goblins are running, they shout something, but it's in Goblin, so I don't think any of you speak Goblin. But they're like shaking their fists at you, so you can't assume it's anything good.
Yeah, I didn't. I wanted to think you were to come out, but
So you're left on the second floor with just the frog-like creature who kind of tilts his head at you and like looks down at his wounds and then looks like up where the moonbeam was coming from and just goes. Then it is Mara's turn.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take this goblin from my good, and I'm gonna throw it out the window.
You know, just push it off the tower. Okay.
Do it!
Roll an athletics check.
on.
I'm not
You're
good
trying to
at
beat a
athletics.
14.
Where is it? There it is. Oh, +5. That's not bad.
You jinxed yourself!
9.
You jinxed it!
Well, this is not your special die. Maybe it's the purple one.
Wait, do you have proficiency in athletics?
Yep. She rolled a 4.
Well, then she rolled a 10.
Well, then you
Oh,
rolled a
yeah,
10
then
Does that work?
plus
10,
5.
Oh,
so
yeah.
15.
15, you beat it.
Oh, yeah.
Reliable talent, lady.
It goes flying over the battlements, taking 3d10 damage. That hits the ground. 3, 4. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Quite a bit of damage. You hear like it's a bone in its leg crack, and then it like there's a loud goblin swear, and it like tries to stagger to its feet, but it's not quite there yet. The frog-like creature kind of oozes out the window, and then you guys see climbing over the top of the battlements this orange bipedal frog with black spots come crawling over, and he takes a dagger and he like climbs over to the one that is currently got its horns in Thaddeus. He takes his dagger and plunges it into it, dealing damage and definitely killing it.
He's
So
friendly.
again, Thaddeus, you see the dagger wound goes in, and the goblin looks angry, but like not dead.
Mhm.
And then there's this froth, like just ejecting from its mouth
Yeah,
on
I'm
top of
gonna
All
it,
over.
like all on your feet.
Push it away from me.
Uh huh.
I don't want to get this stuff
All
in
over
my
your
wounds.
Yeah.
They're so
Pajamas.
numerous.
Blood spurts. The froth gets in the blood. It's a huge mess.
I have lamb hands.
But the
I'm
goblin
fine.
dies. And now we can come out of initiative because everything is dead.
Can you take this beam out, please?
That just dismisses the beam.
Okay, now I'm gonna climb up.
I'm gonna sit in the corner and cross my legs and close my eyes and just concentrate on that banishment spell for the rest of the minute, and not let anything distract
Some of the
me.
bats fly above, but they don't come down near the tower.
I'm just concentrating on banishment for the next minute.
Yeah, and a tense, I think you had like 45 seconds left. A tense 45 seconds passes, and then you can feel the spell's permanence take.
Okay. We're good, guys. That thing wasn't from this plane, so it shouldn't be back.
Hunter's like
That was awesome.
picking up the dead body and looks like chucking him over the battlements, like getting rid of the dead goblin,
Shit.
cleaning up his stuff that was on the ground. Like, oh my things.
Our
Is
tower!
everyone okay?
Yeah, no.
No.
No. My
Are you gonna
stomach
heal
hurts.
yourself, or
I'm going to sleep.
you should
I'm
probably
not going
patch
to be
that up
another fight
first?
tonight.
You should probably put some ice on that.
That is months away.
That
Okay.
frog-like creature just kind of watches you as you go.
Uh.
And he looks at Harmony.
Hi.
His eyes are kind of like bugging and moving from side to side at each of you.
If you
Can I-
understand, thanks for your help.
Can I identify this somehow?
You could roll a nature check.
I guess I should do that too, huh?
I got a 14.
14?
At disadvantage though.
Unless you want to like do something about your issue.
Do something about
4!
Yeah, no, you have no idea. Like, there's this fog floating in your brain that is just preventing you from recalling information. Hunter, you've never seen or encountered one of these creatures, but you know that in some tropical locations there are humanoid races that sort of adapt to that environment, and this must be one of those races.
Okay.
And he sort of kind of looks at the rest of you and then says, "Names.
Oh, you speak common.
Names.
Uh,
Rock.
I'm Harmony.
Rock.
Hunter, and then I'll just be like, Mara's like, Mara, and then point down into the hole, Thaddeus.
Rock. He kind of looks down in the hole.
Name?
Rock.
Rob?
Rock.
Rob?
Rock.
Rob?
Rob.
Rob.
Rob? Both?
He kind of shakes his head. Rock.
Rob. Okay, Rob.
He says,
Thank you for your help.
"Newcomers. Island.
Yes.
Rock."
You're a newcomer or we're newcomers?
He like looks at you.
Well, I know
his eyes
we're-
go wide and he says,
I know we're
"Newcomers."
newcomers, but you're not. Okay. Yes. We're looking for two
Can-
things. We're looking for a goblin camp.
Does that message thing work a lot better than speaking?
What do you mean?
Do you know the message cantrip? Or do you just
Yes.
use it? Okay, then yeah, you could probably use
Just
it.
message him.
Well, it doesn't like. It's still in a language. I think.
Right, but then it doesn't. Then we don't have like a speech impediments or like.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like his response would be in the
Okay,
language.
In
yeah.
his language.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We are looking for a goblin camp because there's someone.
He kind of like, as you say that, he like kicks one of the horned goblins.
Yeah, these
and,
guys
like
is-
steps his frog-like
Camp,
foot
yeah.
into it. It's got these webbed toes.
Yeah. Yeah. We a friend of ours has been taken prisoner there, so we are on a rescue mission. Yay!
And he says, "You help Rob."
Do you need to find the goblins too?
He kind of like shakes his head. I Rob no Rob
You know Rob?
Rob.
You know where to find the goblins.
Rob.
Cool. You'll help us, and then what do you need
He
from
shakes
us?
his head and says, "You help Rob.
Okay.
Rob. Rob."
Fatty won't be happy to do it, but I'm happy to help you.
He says, he points at you and says, "Help," and then he points at himself and says, "Help."
Because he's hurt? Is he hurt?
I think he means like mutual.
He
Okay.
says, "I give Rob."
Okay. Thank you.
And as he says, "I give," he kind of rummages around in a little pouch, and he pulls out a dagger. Not the one he was using, but it's like shiny. The one he was using was very crude and like made of stone. The dagger he pulls out is a shiny, kind of like almost whitish metal, and it seems to be carved with these wind-like patterns. And the hilt of it has a little like bag tied to it. And Hunter, as you get a brief glimpse at it, you can see that it has keen runes carved into it for Wind God.
Oh, okay.
Give. Help. Give. Rob.
So I'll reach out for it. I guess.
Rob. And he like puts it back in his pouch.
Oh, he wants-
okay. I'll hold my hands out.
Rob.
He
Shakes
wants
his head.
us to give
We
him.
gotta
Help.
help him first.
Oh.
Oh, okay. What do you need?
Rob. Kill. Kill. Goblin. Rob.
Cool.
Leader. Rob.
All right.
He shakes his head and he's like wait. He like holds up his hands like wait. He says, "No, leader, Rob, kill, give," and he holds up the dagger again.
So we kill the goblin leader and the gnoll leader, and you'll give us a shiny dagger.
Bring, Rob.
You'll bring us there.
He wants us to bring the bodies to him or something.
And he shakes his head.
Yeah, like the heads of the leaders or something.
Okay. That shouldn't be so hard.
And he says, "Rob, live," and he points south.
And I'm gonna show him the map. With the map.
Yeah. We'll pull out the map.
He kind of looks at it, and his buggy eyes go like all
And I'll
over
be
it
like,
for a moment.
we're here. See, river, lake,
Rob.
mountain.
He's like nodding
You,
his head,
Rob.
and he points to the beach area by where the shrine was. Rob,
Oh,
We're getting
so like
punished
down
for
at
that
the
every
front
day.
foot.
the other foot.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one.
that-
Just like
that's the
just
shrine,
north of
yeah.
the shrine area, like in
That
the
rocky
forest
thing,
edge.
that's the
Isn't
shrine.
that? Well, I thought we landed over
We
here.
landed over there. This is the shrine that we didn't go to.
Oh, okay, I see now.
There's a
Yeah,
shrine.
yeah,
The
yeah.
shrine we went to is up there. But
Ah, okay. So there's one of them. Where's the other one?
The other what?
The other camp. Isn't there a gnoll and a goblin camp?
no, that's where Rob lives.
Oh, well, where are the camps?
He hasn't told you.
Oh, can you tell us where the camps are?
And he looks at the map again. And he says, "Rob," and he points like just up the river from the lake.
Oh, so
Um,
just like right next to us up
yep.
here. Oh, wow.
He says,
okay.
"Goblin,
Okay.
goblin."
Cool. So we're
And then-
close.
The other area of the map that he points to is just right next to the third ruins area in the forest on the east side of the island. He says,
The over here.
"No,
Yes.
Okay.
Rob,
Got it.
Rob,
Thank you.
help."
Yes.
And
So after we get the heads from the goblin leader and the gnoll leader will bring them to you where you live.
Rop.
Okay. One more question.
Rop.
Have you heard of the, what was it? The Patron of Lost Souls? Or the
His head kind of cocks to the side.
Rose?
Rop.
How about a big shrine?
Rop. He kind of like shakes his head. Rop.
Okay. Last question.
His eyes are just kind of like unblinking in the way that frogs are. He's just staring at you.
Do you know where that demon came from? Or why it was here?
He points to the section of the goblin where he pointed to the goblin camp and he says, Goblin. Rop.
The goblins.
Rop.
Okay. That wasn't the goblin leader.
Rop. He shakes his head.
Like a pet? Or
Um,
they summoned it somehow?
yeah, he says, Rop. Pet. Rop.
Okay. Well, it's gone now. Unless they summon it again.
For now.
Or
Rop.
Yeah. Are there more?
He shrugs.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Alright. Rob.
Rop.
Rob. Do you want to sleep in our tower? Or are you gonna
He shakes his head.
head home?
Home.
Okay.
Rop. Not safe. Rop.
Here?
He shrugs.
Okay.
Home. Safe. Rop.
Got it. Well, be careful. And I guess we'll see you in a few days.
And he just, as he's like, he goes and like climbs over the battlements, his like frog like arms sticking to the tower as he climbs down. He just, and as he like sort of fades out of sight, his head almost seems to like stretch up more than it should, so that he's getting a longer glimpse of the rest of you, and he just says, "Help!" And then he climbs down the tower, and you can watch him disappear into the
That sounds like he needs
lake,
help.
and he just begins to like swim across it.
Huh.
I need to sleep.
yeah.
That was weird.
Well, it's my watch anyways, so I'll clean up.
We have a giant hole in our tower. Does anyone know how to fix a magic tower?
Thaddeus would have seen the like design
Yeah.
specifications for it. It will repair over time. This is something I'm changing from the actual item.
Okay.
The actual item, you need a wish spell to fix.
Yeah.
Oh my
jeez.
gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
So it will repair over
If I
time.
have a wish spell, I'm doing better things with it.
Yeah, seriously.
I wish our tower was whole again.
Yeah, so I'm changing that from the actual item. Your tower will repair over time.
That's
but,
cool.
It's going
Cool.
to take some time to repair a
Alright,
hole
well,
as big as the
I
Gregorian
can, how big is the hole?
It's a sizable hole on the second floor.
Oh, so it is.
How big is sizable? I need, like,
And it kind of extends
to know
so
if
like,
I can use my magic to
like
cover
a
it up.
15-foot hole that covers the second and first floor.
Okay.
areas.
Let's see here.
You use creation.
Well, I was thinking fabricate because I can generally cover a wider area with fabricate if I have the right materials.
Okay.
So I could like get some. We could collect.
I mean, there's
some, like,
rubble that you could use, right?
rubble or branches or something. I think I can create a wider area if it's like organic material. Like
Oh.
I mean, like
Want me to look up the fabricate spell?
I mean, I have the card.
I was gonna say just use the rubble from the hole you punched out.
Yeah,
one
but
to one,
it's
right?
usually if the fabricated if the substance is metal or stone, it's a smaller area. But if
There's
it's,
plenty of like trees around.
yeah,
you
if
can
it's
fabricate.
wooden or cloth or something or wool, I can create a bigger area. So I
Okay.
can make a makeshift like patch tonight,
Mhm.
and then over time the tower will repair itself.
Okay.
It'll take me 10 minutes.
Sure.
But I think I can do that if we want to get this patched up tonight. Let me make sure I have enough. Yeah, I do. But my wild magic is also triggered for primed.
Mhm.
So if I cast it, I'm gonna be outside the tower,
Ah, yes.
away from you guys.
Okay, very good. I'll just like kind of watch
I
it
feel like
in between cleaning and just like see what happens.
it's been a stressful night, and I feel like something
you gotta let something
weird
out?
might happen. So I'm gonna go go outside.
You're gonna take care of your other business too.
What other business?
Your disadvantaging business.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm the player is asking you. But
yeah, I don't know what.
sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So okay. Hunter's watching Harmony when she's doing her fabrication thing.
Yeah, I'll go outside, and I will. Yeah.
Okay. So
Do I have to like bring the trees there, or can I just?
Nah, you can.
It's 120-foot range, but I don't know what that.
Let's read the spell.
I don't know what that means. It says you can fabricate a wooden bridge from a clump of trees.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't have to bring it to it. So you sort of stand in front of the tower and continually chant arcane words through your amulet, and the trees just sort of fluidly over time slowly begin to shift and then pull from the ground and then build into a wall, which then attaches itself to the tower over the course of 10 minutes. And then as you finish it, your wild magic triggers.
Yep. $85.
Oh boy, okay.
I don't know what those are. We're about to find out.
Are you gonna let it happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Are they hostile? That's the question.
Well, they're chosen and controlled by the DM.
Yep. I don't know. Let it happen. Why not?
As
Yeah,
you
you're gonna be in those fights tonight.
as you finish casting the spell, there's a rumbling from the mountain area, and that water erupts from the top again, and it begins to pelt the jungle with that warm water. And as the water hits the ground near the tower, is about when you're finishing your spell, and those water droplets coalesce into these creatures with sort of like pointed faces, and like these bat-like wings, but they're completely made out of steam.
Oh, weird.
And
I've been summoning a lot of shit with my magic lately.
yeah, as the four of them appear, I need Harmony to make 4 dexterity saving throws.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna roll them all at once.
That's fine.
Are they all at disadvantage?
Yes.
Then I can only roll 3 of
God.
them at once. I'm gonna do them one at a time then. Shit. Okay, cool. Alright, well that's not too bad. That's a 15.
Okay, that's a pass. So you take 1 for this one.
And
Oh,
that
actually,
is a 14.
that's another pass. So
Actually,
I'm just gonna total your damage here. Keep
Oh, at
making
the end?
rolls. Yep.
thank you. And this one is, yep, that's a 6.
Okay, that's a fail.
And that's a 5.
And that's a fail as well. So all told, you take 15 fire damage,
Whoa.
down to 7.
Oh yeah, it's flame
As
resistant.
they sort of blow out this steam breath, this hot breath from their mouths.
So 7.
And then their pointed nose sort of turn upward, and you can see that they have these like fiendish, almost like trickster-ish looking grins, and they sort of like put their hands in their ears and go "La, la, 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 la," and then fly off into the jungle.
Ow. Oh. Well, I guess it's the first bit of damage I've taken at all today, so I'm fine. I think I have more hit points left than you do.
And with that,
Ow.
Harmony, you can enter the tower, speaking the command word to open
well-
the door.
Before I go back,
Yes.
Sadie, or is Hunter watching
Yeah,
me?
I'm watching.
I covered the hole.
I'm at
He's
the battlements
watching
just
me.
kind of like doing this, like watching this happen. I'm like, huh, that didn't look very nice. Kind of like Hunter has kind of like a sport now, watching Harmony like do wild magic stuff. He's like, what's gonna happen next?
All
We
right.
travel together long enough to forget.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself
Okay.
again.
Check for wild magic.
Yeah.
So you do that. Can I see your footprints in the sand? Okay.
With a decent perception.
Is it sand?
It
It's
is
also
sandy.
dark.
It's true.
Yes,
so no,
I'm-
you can't.
But there's a torch out.
It's kind of been extinguished by the steam,
Yeah.
or the water that fell from the
Oh, come on.
sky.
No wild magic. And I'm just gonna go up to the front of the shrine to one of the tigers.
I'm gonna like message her and be like, where are you going?
I'm not gonna answer. I'm gonna go up to the front of the shrine in front of one of the tigers, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm gonna say, look, we're on the same side. You don't have to punish me.
The stone statue just kind of leers down at you, its mouth agape in like a feral growl.
I'm just showing that snake the same respect it's gonna show you or I. Like, let's be real. You don't want the snake to look pretty in your shrine, right? It's your enemy.
There's no response.
I'm gonna sit there and just kind of try to persuade this spirit for the next, like, 20 minutes, and then I'll go back into the tower.
Okay.
So Hunter's like
Nope.
Hunter's like just like waiting at the door.
Well,
just like
Mara
arms
has
crossed
one
like
of them.
normal.
Oh, does Mara have one?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gave her one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I gave
You
her
want
I didn't
one?
hear
And
that.
then give her one.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't have really affected your bad rolls anyway.
I know. I rolled bad now. See, karma.
Yeah.
I have to remember that for next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hunter's like at the doorway, just like arms crossed, just waiting for Harmony to open the door.
I like, well,
Or I can retroactively say that the thing works that whoever stole it.
we wouldn't know. But yeah, I'm just gonna go back and open the door. Still invisible.
And I'm gonna move my door to like where it's not totally open. Like, where'd you go? So she can't fully come in.
Hunter, back off.
What's going on?
Nothing. I was just taking a walk. God.
An invisible walk.
Yes. You heard the frog guy.
Can I
It's like
roll? Can I roll insight
dangerous
on that?
around
Because
here.
it wasn't just a walk.
Nah, it was the dark. You can't really, and she was invisible.
Okay.
you heard the frog guy. It's dangerous out here. I didn't want those goblins to find me.
All right. I'll like move my foot away and be like, okay.
And with that, I think everyone is able to fall asleep and rest away this horrible, horrible night. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Okay.
Poor guy. You had a rough one.
Oh,
I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
you weren't going to be in armor. Oh, that was a rough thing.
Okay, so tomorrow.
It was kind of refreshing though.
Yeah, if you sleep, then you just.
Now we just need to
feel
find
that.
a way to get him into the same kind of predicament.
Who? Me? I've been there.
Yeah,
He just stacks bludgeoning weapons,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I just start melting.
that's true.
So anyways, thanks to anyone who tuned in to watch. We'll be back next Monday, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Meantime, this episode will go up on YouTube on Wednesday. Or you can check the Twitch VOD right afterwards. All of our backlog episodes are on YouTube, so that's where you can get all of that. Where there's a history recap on the Twitch page. So thanks for watching. To see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.